With a brand new Transformers film out this weekend, and the industry trying to figure out what exactly is the next step for the live action side of the Transformers franchise, including the G.I. Joe tease in the last film, well, we got a pretty huge update that's providing us some context of what happens next. So in case you missed it, there is already a script being written by one of the people responsible for Jurassic World, and that the plan is to reframe this new film as a bigger universal deal, aka, the bigger deal in this whole universe, because now it's Transformers and G.I. Joes. Now, both of those franchises are locked in under one person, whether we like it or not, and he's got his hands on some other pieces of the nerd pie, much like Avi Arad. So of course we are talking about Lorenzo Di Bonaventura, who had an update, and he talks about how right now they are seeing how people react to the human plot, what drives the humans and what pushes them in the direction of the Transformers, and that they are looking at how many characters they can use and how exactly do you merge these franchises without going too far in one direction or the other. So obviously what he's saying right here is they're trying to figure out how to make this seem possible, right? And how do you balance it out so it's 50-50? So is Cobra being funded by the Decepticons? Are the Decepticons secretly giving them tech so Cobra can have all this, advanced weaponry to fight the Joes, which is more than likely what's going to happen? Are the Joes now actively working with the Transformers, the Autobots specifically, and is there something else going on behind the scenes, because we still know Unicron is coming eventually, right? And then he goes on and says that the balance is really what's taking so long, and that this has to pay tribute to both. You can't overdo it. And that the current story that they're working on, they feel like is the right direction with the right characters. Now, it's been rumored that we're going to be seeing pretty much a couple of named Joes, and maybe like one big one. So I would assume like Scarlet, and maybe like Duke and somebody else, maybe Flint, I don't know. And on the Transformers side, you gotta kind of, have the characters from the last film. But then you think about Cobra, you gotta have like, I would say Cobra Commander as a guarantee, but you gotta have like Storm Shadow. You probably gotta include somebody like Destro and Baroness, I would assume, because them being, especially Destro being a weapons dealer, that perfectly fits the whole Transformers thing. And then, of course, I think Snake Eye's inevitable, but you maybe hold off on that because of his failed standalone film. Who really knows? Whatever happens, I'm excited. I just hope that this thing turns out to be good and maybe revitalizes this live-action iteration of Transformers, because if another film comes out and it does Rise of the Beast numbers, I don't think we're getting more live-action Transformers.